Hi, welcome to Nozawa Onsen. My name's Luke and I'm going to be showing you around Nozawa today, and I'd like to show you how to take an onsen in Nozawa Onsen. Now, onsen means hot spring bath, and here in Nozawa there are 13 free baths that were maintained by the locals in each district. They get up in the early hours of the morning to clean and get them ready so that while you're here you can use the facilities for free. So be sure to take an onsen when you're here. You can get into your yukata provided by your ryokan or your minshuku, and of course don't forget your towel and soap. So if you want to see how it's done, follow me. Hey, konnichiwa. So when you first come into the onsens, make sure you greet the other guests that are in there. It's always a nice thing to do. In the morning, of course, it's ohayo gozaimasu. In the evening, you can say konbanwa. But at this time of day, konnichiwa is the usual greeting. And then, take your shoes off. Okay, so there are a few rules that you have to pay attention to when you go to the local onsens. The first and most important is that it's done naked. So no swimwear at all. You have to nude up with the locals. For the sake of the camera crew today though, I'll be wearing some pants. But usually fully naked. The onsens are of course segregated, so male on one side, female on the other, so you don't generally have to worry about being too shy. But take all your gear off and try and just use one pigeonhole for your clothes. Don't spread your gear around the whole onsen. Put your things in there. Take of course your little onsen towel and some soap if you've got it. Usually these are provided by your minshuku or by your ryokan, but the buckets you find inside the onsen itself. So head on down to the bath area and start your bathing. So when you come down into the bathing area, you'll notice that the onsen is surrounded by tiles that slope away to the edge of the room. This helps, of course, to keep the soap out of the bath. So all your washing has to be done on the tiles. Nozawa's springs are notoriously hot, so spend some time pouring water over your body, your fingers and toes, the nape of your neck, and get used to the water temperature. If you've brought your soap with you, make sure you give yourself a good wash before you get in. Or if you're relatively clean, just a good rinsing with the hot water is enough. And that'll help you get used to the water. And once you're used to the hot water, jump on in. Either leave your towel on top of your bucket or on top of your head or on the side of the bath, but never put your towel in the water itself. The water is just for clean bodies, so no soap, no towel, and nothing else that you bring with you. Once you're ready, jump on in. So, as I said before, the Nozawa springs are a lot hotter than the springs you'll find in other parts of Japan. So most guests won't be able to sit into the onsen for half an hour or more. So by all means, get in and out as many times as you like. Cool yourself down, have a stretch, wash your hair, brush your teeth, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you're clean before you get back in again. And of course, have a chat to the other guys that are in the onsen. You'll certainly meet some interesting characters. Obviously a little bit more difficult if you don't speak any Japanese and they don't speak any English, but for a lot of the locals we are still a bit of a curiosity, so take your time, practice your sign language, and you might just find yourself skiing with some really interesting characters in the coming days. Take your time and enjoy the experience. As I said, the hot springs in Nozawa Onsen can sometimes be really hot, and you'll find that even with your best efforts pouring the water over your hot body, you still don't get quite used to it. So by all means, add a little bit of cold water from the taps in the side of the bath, If there's other people there, it's always polite to ask them if that's okay, but generally you'll find that it's more than okay. They're happy for you to add a little bit of cold water to make it easier for you to get in. Okay. Alright, so when you want to get up out of the onsen after you've finished and get changed up on the wooden slat area, you're going to make sure you're nice and dry. So if you've used your towel to wash with, it's going to be soaking. So take your bucket, rinse out and wring out your towel so it's nice and dry. Take your onsen bucket back to where you got it from and give yourself a good wipe down so that when you're getting up onto the wooden slat area, people who are getting changed and putting on socks aren't getting their socks wet and don't slip over on the way out of the onsen. So dry yourself off well. It keeps everybody happy. And if you do bring your large towel from your hotel or ryokan, you can have that here with you to dry off a little bit more thoroughly. But generally the damp onsen towel, because you're nice and steamy, is more than good enough. So give yourself a good wipe down, including your feet as you get up. And then you're ready to go and get changed and have a stroll through the cold, snowy air outside. And now you're ready to go. Okay, that's how you take an onsen in Nozawa Onsen. So if you follow that simple guide, you're going to have a great time enjoying the hot spring baths in this part of the world. Thanks.